meeting of the Tiverton Town Council, February 16th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you do the roll call, please?
Counselor Cook,
Here.
Counselor deMedeiros,
Here.
Counselor Burk,
Here.
Counselor Edwards,
Yeah.
Counselor Janick,
Here.
Counselor Vieira,
Yeah.
Counselor Perry.
Present.
Although we can't see you, Joe.
All
All right.
present.
So the first item on our list is the tax collector. Tony Lynn is in the audience. We're bringing her forward.
Hey, she's here.
Okay, welcome, Tony. So Tony, basically, you're pretty level funded, except for your salary item. So I'm sure that the town administrator wants to talk about the reason why he wants to increase you to full-time. And maybe he should go first and then we can get your input on it.
So there's a number of reasons why I believe Tony Lynn should be brought up to full-time. One, she works far more than the hours we're paying for her now, because there's a lot that needs to be done in that system that she handles that the staff don't really do, like reconciling all the escrow payments, time payments, and those things that come in electronically. She handles all that, plus she handles all the issues that the staff have problems with that she also manages. She also manages the back end of the system that the staff don't do. I thought I was muted. Beyond that, there's we're going to have to make a change in the systems there. The current operating systems that we use today that get updated periodically on a regular basis have now outstripped and out-maintained the current product set that we have, to the point where some of the systems within that product set that she's using are not at all operable. So there's going to be a pretty significant training issue that's going to be involved with this, which is going to fall into her lap to manage as well. And she has a retirement coming this year of one of her staffs in there that's happening. I know it's only part-time or half-time, not part-time. It's the one that, does both the assessor and the tax collector. And while both those systems are synonymous and work hand in hand together, the new system we will get will integrate in both units. So it would make sense to have her full-time. Ada brings people up to speed with the new system to accommodate the additional work that she's doing now, that she's not being compensated for. And quite frankly, I will, most people may not think that this is a large item, but when she's bringing in $39 million a year and she brings in 98 to 99% of it, and she does an excellent job in all the back collections. This is the forefront of what we do, how we operate as a community. And I'm a little bit baffled as to why we've not brought her full-time for quite a while. But, and I understand the town's always has resource needs and, we'll get to it. But with what's coming up in the next cycle, with the retirement and a new system coming on board, and the fact that she's already working well beyond what we're paying her for, I just don't think it's fair if we don't look at making her full-time.
Thank you. Tony, would you like to add anything to that? You don't have to.
Well, I'm here if anyone has any questions. I mean, over the years, I've implemented a number of programs that are, time consuming to administer, but they have benefited the office, and the evidence of that is in the collection rate. We've gone, from a 97% collection rate to a 98. And like I say, it all proves month to month accurately. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. And I'm just finding that there needs to be more hours in the day to get the job done.
And Tony, I also realize that you work more than part-time. I always wondered how many hours you really do work, because when I'm there, you're there. So, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate everything you've done for the town.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go in order here. Mike Burke.
Tony, thank you for coming. Just to give us a sense, you're as part-time, it's a 32 or 20-hour a week?
It's a 25-hour.
25-hour. And
work week.
a rough estimate, on average, how many hours do you actually put in each week?
It really cycles depending on the
Mhm.
collection periods. During the collection periods, I would say full-time. And if the end of the month falls on a weekend, I tend to log in at home because I
Mhm.
want to get everything in for the current month that we're in. So during those, I would say full-time. And then there are, when after the quarter, there are days when I may leave, between 2 and 2:30. So it just really varies by, what's going on in the office. This particular year has been a definite challenge. So I would say I'm more full-time than part-time.
Okay, thank you.
Jay.
Thank you, Tony. Let me start by saying I'm not against this at all. I just have two questions. Does this require a rewriting of the contract? And do we require an impact statement?
It would. This is more conceptual at the moment. I mean, we have time to work through all that process to get to, what would be the appropriate rate and what the fiscal impact would truly be. But it's definitely needed to get on the table now, so that we could at least forecast and look for budgeting for next year. The contract will have to be adjusted and corrected to reflect whatever the desires are that both parties come to an agreement to.
So it's just like a heads up.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, and keep in mind that this doesn't have to be finalized till July 1st when the budget begins. There is one other question I have, and I'll get to you, Deb. This 59,533, that does not include benefits, does it? Retirement?
It's pretty much salary that's in that line item. I
Okay.
do not participate in the town's health plan. So that would never be added in, but I do participate in the retirement.
Right.
Correct. Okay. Deb, Councilor Janick?
I think we need to pay Tony for what Tony works, and I'm fully open to that. My question is about the person who's retiring. Do you know, like, where in the year that would happen? Like more beginning, more end?
I
Of the
believe her
year?
plan is for July 1st.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so like we're talking like almost the whole fiscal year. So are we accounting for her salary in this line item, the staff salaries?
We are, I'm assuming that that is a AFSCME position, that it would
It is.
probably go out to bid and,
So that we would bid,
filled by an
okay,
AFSCME
that was
person.
my question. So we're
Um,
covered, we've got it covered.
But it's
Yes. It will-
part-time, you said?
She's
Well,
part-time, so she's in our office during the collection
Yeah,
periods.
so I'm
and then
not sure if is she the one that
She goes
does
between.
part,
Assessor
she's
and-
actually a full-time employee.
Yes.
I know who it is. Okay, and she works in the tax collectors, the other half. So
Right.
she is a fully benefit person.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
we would probably, even though it's an ASME position, I believe that we're probably going to wind up doing similar to what the treasurer did and creating some sort of testing for that, because it's such a critical job and so
Right.
much money flows through there, that we will make sure that whoever goes in there has the qualifications to actually do the work.
And the person that's leaving is highly qualified. I know who it
Yes,
is,
it is.
and she's an excellent employee.
Yes.
So it's going to be hard to replace her
Yeah.
anyway.
She'll be a loss.
Yes, I didn't realize she was retiring. Anyone else have any questions before I ask something else? Mike?
Two things, Chris. With that, are we making use of her knowledge and expertise to develop that test is one question.
We will. We have not quite formalized that yet, but we have made that. Now, I've asked that we kind of go through the same process the treasurer did in order to effectuate that. We might get a little bump from the union, so I want to make sure whatever process we used in the past, that we can at least achieve that there is a skill set that is required in the tax collection office. It's not just, not just anybody can do it. There is a true skill set to it. So we want to work with Denise Surratt to figure out exactly how she did it for her staff downstairs, and we'll apply the same criteria or similar to the tax collection as well.
There is a component in the ASME contract that does say that, though.
There is. I
Qualify,
don't know
yes.
if the tax collection office has that as one of the listed items.
Uh,
So
I always thought it
I thought it was broad-based.
to all positions, but I might be wrong because I was in that contract. Now, Tony,
Wait, Denise, hang on, I have one other
oh, I'm
question.
sorry.
And it's broader than Tony, but Chris, do we have, and maybe it's been sent and I just am lost with it, a personnel supplement that shows us each positions by each department?
No, that we don't have.
Okay,
I can see if I can generate one.
okay, thank you.
Now, Tony, if everyone looks at the bottom line of Tony's budget, it's not a big increase. And it's because the tax bills and postage has gone down significantly. Do you want to explain that, Tony?
Well, this year, because of the unknowns and the double billing that we did, or issuing a single quarter bill and then the 3/4 bill. And we also had some software charges that we knew for some specialized programming they were going to charge. We added all of those fees into that line item. Next year, we're assuming we won't have the same issues that we had this year. So we're reverting back to just a single billing, which would be a real estate billing and a motor vehicle billing for the next year's budget.
So what I was bringing up is her bottom line budget is not a significant increase considering that we're putting her on full-time. All right. Any other questions concerning Tony's budget? Donna?
Yeah, I'm looking at the longevity and I'm not sure about how ASME works. It went up. Is that for this is going to be for next year's budget. So if it's a new person or a certain date, they don't get longevity if someone's hired. Is that correct?
That's correct, but the issue is we don't know who that's going to be.
Oh, so you have to be prepared.
Yeah, we potentially could be somebody who has the same breadth of service, just wants to transfer from another department that would have that longevity issue. So that's, that's why that's there like that, I'm assuming.
But that could be a savings depending on who we hired.
With the selection, yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Also, with the software, wouldn't the productivity increase and the efficiency increase where you don't need as much hands writing things out? Do you need as many people?
I don't think that this software is going to actually reduce the way we apply a payment. It's just going to look completely different. The new program is a window-based system, so it'll be a bunch of screens that come up. Where now, if you looked at our software, it's pretty much, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just, you basically see the payment, you manually enter it in, and then you hit apply. There may be a few different steps, but there's going to be a very difficult learning curve because the way we enter the account numbers and search the fields is going to be completely different than the way we do it now.
Okay,
But we still have to apply each check to each account. So it's still going to, take a number of clerks to apply the payments. If you look at the number of tax bills that we mail out, say 15,000 tax bills with 4 coupons, you're looking at almost 60,000 pieces of mail that come through the office, with the exception of the escrows. So it's a busy office, and that I don't anticipate to be reduced by the software.
Now, the clerk is a full-time position, but it looks like the assessor's office and your office share the expense of the half person
That is correct.
and the benefits.
Yes.
Yes, it's one full-time person, though, that's split in half. It's not
That's
a
right.
half-time person split in half.
Okay. All right.
So she works
Any other-
half-time in the assessor and half with the tax collector.
Right. So we're actually adding a half person.
About 10 hours a week. It's because she works 25 now and she would go up to 35, or I didn't really, discuss the actual number of hours. I mean,
Well,
all
because she's a department head, it would become salary.
right.
Yeah.
So,
We just want to make sure that if she goes full-time, that we've got somebody who can kind of pick up some of she doesn't have to pick up a new person's stuff, so that she's like time and a half, doing
Right.
a full-time job plus half a job, so. We wanna
That'll
be
be,
There'll be a
fair.
learning curve for the new person. That's another reason
Exactly.
why I'd like to be in the office full-time, so I can be there to help in the training.
Right. I have a question about that, under the capital, the tax collector software, is that to talk to Dave about, or is that to
well,
talk
it's
to?
both, but it's,
Yeah, it will affect both of our offices. The software that we're using right now is written in an unsupported platform called Fox Pro, and that is no longer supported. So that's why there's we can't really make any changes and keep up with all the changes that are happening with Rhode Island and the laws, because the program, we can't reprogram this software that we're using. So we do need the newer platform that's supported by Microsoft. What we're using right now is not supported by Microsoft.
so even when we did the 1/4 tax and the 3/4 tax, the vendor who has this product set was pretty ambivalent at the very beginning that he didn't even know if he could actually rewrite the program to do this, because it's so antiquated and it's so unsupported with the operating systems that we have, that he felt that that's why that number of under the tax bills had a little bit staggering amount that was in it, because we anticipated spending between $12,000 and $15,000 on software rewrite. And he was extremely generous to us to give us a very, very fair, and I mean extremely fair price. I believe it was $5,000. But even he had problems trying to get it to write and work. And it did cause a fairly significant headache for the staff to actually have to reconcile every one of those transactions that came through. It could be done, but hopefully with a new modern system, if we ever have to get on that road again, it will never be as difficult as it was this past year. You're muted, Denise.
any further questions for Tony? So, I have one other question. Why, it's not a significant increase. I'm just curious about it. Why did your telephone go up 250?
With the new Cox business lines that came into town hall, you're charged per phone. So we have 3 phone lines that come into the office, as well as a fax line. So just the monthly bills changed, and this year we're paying slightly more for phone service than we did last year.
All of our
So
phones.
some of the offices may have gone down if they don't have.
No,
a
I
fax
noticed
machine.
most have increased.
Yeah,
Almost.
going up.
Okay, at this point, if there's no further questions, I'd like to entertain a motion for the tax collector, account 2150, for approval of the bottom line item of 164,851.
651.
Or is that
651.
651? I'm sorry, guys, there's a
So
shadow.
moved.
Do I have a
Second.
second? Okay, so I have a motion by Councilor Vieira, second by Councilor Perry. Any further discussion? Councilor Cook? Oh,
Yes.
Councilor Vieira?
Just to everyone who works in the tax collector's office, thank you. That's all I have to say on a
Thank
daily
you.
basis.
That's much appreciated.
That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Councilor Cook?
Is this a preliminary vote or is this a regular vote or?
Well, this is a preliminary vote only because at one point we will vote for the entire budget amount. And if anyone wanted to do any changes in a line item, they could.
All right, so it's not just for Tony to be full-time, it's for the whole
It's
21.
for the whole thing, unless you want to change the vote.
No, I
Unless-
just wanted to be clear on what the heck I was voting on, okay. All right, yes.
Councilor Edwards,
Yes.
Councilor Janick,
Yes,
Councilor Vieira,
Yes.
Councilor Burke,
Yes.
Counselor Perry,
Yes.
and I'm a yes, unanimous. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you,
Thank
Tony.
you.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you all.
We will do the capital item after we talk to Dave. Tax assessor. I believe Dave joined us. We can put him in.
I guess somebody brought him in.
Yeah, somebody just brought him in. Okay, so the tax assessor is on page
6.
6. Welcome, Dave.
You're muted.
You're muted, Dave.
Good evening.
There
Good
he is.
evening. Chris, the raise for Dave, is that going to go into the council contingency?
It actually, that needs to go back to level right now. We'll deal with that because we have haven't done his for this year, and so we would be putting it in council contingency of both years. So,
Okay, so that would be, it would go down to 76,592.
correct.
So we'd have to subtract that from the bottom line. Okay, Dave, your budget is pretty level funded. Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, actually, it is pretty level funded. The only thing, I'm not sure if Chris has updated your budget, the supplies and miscellaneous. I had that up, or the original request was for 5,500. I did lower that down to 5,000. We have a copier, actually, and it's all in one machine here in the office that died out on us. So I do have a quote to replace it this year for $850. So I'm going to scramble whatever is left of my budget this year to purchase that copier. The original 5,500 request for next year was in anticipation of buying a copier, but we're going to need it sooner than later. But the reduction from the 5,500 down to 5,000 is still an increase from last year. And the reason being is because some of the supplies that we're going to hold off on, mainly toner cartridges. Toner cartridges are just insanely expensive. We're going to have to hold off and purchase them next year. So there's the increase for that. But otherwise, the budget, each line item is pretty much level funded. The only other slight increase is the GIS accounts. They're both at 3,500, and those are the contractual amounts that we're going to be charged by the vendor.
Okay, so if my math is correct, department management salary would go down to 76,592, and supply and miscellaneous would be 5,000, which would change the bottom line to 171,017.
Correct.
That's what I got
Do you
too.
have the February 4th budget?
No, I don't have that in front of me.
This is,
Does
no,
anyone have that in front of you?
no.
I have the January 15th I'm
Yeah.
looking at.
Okay,
Same one, same one.
so I'll get to the February 4th one, but I'll get.
Yeah, it's all right, as long as we, as long as we continue on.
Yep. Nope, that's fine.
Anything else, Dave? I'm gonna get into the capital with you in a minute. And if you want to talk, the revaluation is yours also, correct?
Correct. So
So
the
that went up.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's an increase.
That is an increase. So I believe, let me try to find my sheet here. So I had worked out a budget a few years ago, and we were basically setting aside $53,000 on an annual basis. And that would carry us through statistical updates and the full revaluation. Keep in mind that the statistical updates, we get reimbursed by the state, 60%. So when I factor out how much we would need for those revaluations, the $53,000 a year was the magic number. The change came a couple of years ago when we requested only, I believe, 40,000 and 45, and that was just because the budget was tight at the time. So we were able to adjust it based on the revaluation that we're currently working on. I had anticipated that it'd be several $1,000s more than what we ended up paying for it. So there was a decrease, but now in order to make that line item flush for the next revaluations, I anticipate that we need to budget $55,000 a year over the next several years to pay for the updates in the next full revaluation.
All right, so Dave, that's a restricted account.
Correct.
And right now you have almost 150,000 in there.
To be honest, Denise, I do not have a printout of what is currently in that budget.
Well, as of December 31st, you had 150,000 in there. The percent expenditure was 40%.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering if you have that much in there, do you really need what you're asking for?
Yes, because we still, the vendor that is currently doing our revaluation, that contract's for $286,000, and we're only halfway through that project. So they still have some billing that they're going to be sending to us over the next few months.
And we also have the power plant valuation being done as well.
Correct.
All right, no, I was just asking. I'm not criticizing. I'm just asking because I'm noticing that you do have quite a bit of money in there.
Right, but those are, the vendor bills us on a monthly basis.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Dave? And then Dave, would you like to talk about the capital request?
I don't believe I have one. I know that Tony Lynn put one in there for the software.
So that's Tony's?
Well, again, like Chris had mentioned.
Because it says software update for collection and assessor's office.
Right. So it's the same piece of software. Basically what happens between the tax collections office and my office, there's a suite of products. She has the tax collection and I have the tax administration. It's all one piece of software. It's just two different modules.
Okay.
So when she purchases her new software, part of that is part of my office.
All
So
right.
the other part of that is that's one half of, it's really anticipated to be about $80,000.
Correct.
So it's 40,000 a year for the next 2 years coming, and we would try to bridge that rollout over that across the fiscal years.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Jay?
Well, I'm confused. So I'm looking at municipal capitals, and 3 lines from the bottom of that top section, we have tax collector software upgrade, 40 grand.
It's a duplicate.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
duplicate. I took it out today, so it's
okay.
definitely a duplicate.
All right. So then the bottom line number goes down by 40,000. Okay. Because okay, I got it.
I didn't think it was in the docket. I did, every time I looked, I couldn't find it. So
Well,
I
that's
put- I
good
put-
news. We just decreased it by 40,000 without even
That was
trying.
a mistake on my, I
Wonderful.
don't think I get credit for mistakes.
And I didn't
We're
notice
doing
it until
good.
just now during this conversation.
So if we decide to do, to add the software update for collection assessor's office, we'll add that to our capital request, which will, I think it's like at 260 right now. I'm not sure. 250 plus something else, but whatever.
Did this a minute ago.
Chris is taking account of this. So we'd add that to it. I just want to let you all know that on the agenda for Monday, we are going to have another vote to take this out of the unreserved. It won't be this amount, but just if you see it on the agenda, you're going to wonder why. It's so that we can do an official vote to spend the capital, and also to let the town the town department heads to stop bidding for these items that we've already approved. So that's what that line item is. If you're wondering, oh, we just voted for it. Joan brought it up that it wasn't really on the agenda to take from the capital. So we're gonna have a final vote to take from that capital, which I want to give Joan credit for that. It was a good pickup. And then we'll also authorize for the department heads to go out and do it now because they can. All right, so I'm looking for a couple of votes, a couple of things here. So does anyone want to make a motion to approve the tax assessor's bottom line to 171,017?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, so Jay, Council Edwards made the motion, Council Vieira seconded it for the tax assessor 2120 account to be 171,017. Donna?
Can I ask a question quick?
Sure.
So because the department salary, department management salary and staff salaries have stayed level funded, but we know they're going to increase.
Right.
How do we deal with that?
It would be reflective in our council contingency. We decided to do that last year so that the council had some leeway on what the raises would be. In the past, there's been.
Well,
the
I
idea-
understand that, Denise, but I thought that was only department head salaries.
No, it's also in anything that's going to,
Be negotiated.
anything that's contractual. But
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so Donna,
Yes.
Council Edwards,
Yes.
Councilor Janick,
Yes,
Councilor Vieira,
Yes,
Councilor Burke,
Yes.
Councilor Perry,
yes,
and I'm a yes.
can I
And then the
can I
next-
just go back one more thing, just to go back to what Jay was saying?
I
We
know, I
put in
just
the,
thinking about it.
we put in the contingency, the unknown increases, right? So,
Right.
like the department director has not had the update for the year. And then the ASME salaries, where are they in contract? Like, are we?
Yeah, Deb, I was just thinking of that as I answered that question. When is Ask Me Up?
So
Chris.
this will be year 2 of 3. They were in their
So
first.
that should be so that should be an increase.
So
yeah,
they're already increased. They've already been approved and ratified. So that's.
but it's not reflective here.
I know what they're saying. I thought about it after we just took the vote.
Well,
mean, we
that-
use
yeah,
it-
that's
Right, I'm gonna
where
have
I
to
was
look it up then.
confused.
We use the contingency for the ones we don't know.
Right, you're right, Deb. I was thinking that Ask Me was up this year, and that's why, because the police are up this year, so it wouldn't be reflective yet.
Right, but police are the only ones up this year, correct?
Police are, and all the directors, obviously, but,
Well, and the directors, right, but
So
so
that Ask Me, did they get a raise the
I
second
have
year
to
of
go
the
look at that
contract?
contract and pull it out to see where they are with that. I'm assuming they did get a raise, but let me, that's a question for me. I'll have to go look at that.
So should we hold
Okay,
off
so
on
we just
this?
voted on
or-
we just voted on the bottom line, and Chris is just gonna come back to us, and like I said, this is
Right.
preliminary votes. And if he needs to change that bottom line, we can do it. All right, is that okay with everyone?
yes.
And I'll make
It
a
is with
note that we
me.
may need to go back there.
Yeah, because I missed it because it's in the tax collector. It did increase in the tax collector.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
same-
after Jay asked and I gave the answer, then I was thinking, no, Ask Me's not up.
I'll double check on that.
All right, so we can come back to that item and we can just adjust it to, it's
No
not gonna change dramatically.
No, it will not.
It will not. Okay, so the next thing is the reevaluation. Does anyone want to make a motion for 55,000?
So moved.
second,
Again,
Okay, so I have a motion by Councilor Edwards, a second by Councilor Vieira. Any further discussion on the evaluation?
I think it was Council Perry who
it
seconded it.
was, yeah, it was,
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see him, so I can't tell what he's
I-
doing here.
Okay.
We recognize his voice.
I'm just razzing on you, Joe.
I
Mike,
know.
I don't know if you want to deal with any questions in the audience.
are there questions?
Yeah.
Yep,
No.
Gibby has a question.
Gibby has a question.
Oh,
No, the dog,
The
I'm only
dog.
kidding. So Joe Souza is asking, is there a chance the power plan will appeal?
that's not up for discussion at the moment. That's not on the agenda.
I think he's asking because of the evaluate, okay. Okay. So I have a motion and a second for reevaluation, 55,000. Counselor Cook,
Yes,
Counselor Edwards,
Yes.
Counselor Janick,
Yes,
Counselor Vieira,
Yes.
Counselor Burke,
Yes.
Counselor Perry,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Now let's go to capital. And keep in mind that this will be for our capital budget
Thank
request.
you all.
You're welcome, Dave. So capital request that we have not approved yet is the software update for collection and assessor's office, which is $40,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a
second,
second? Made by
Second.
Counselor Edwards, seconded by Counselor Janick. Counselor Cook, you have a question?
yeah, all right, if, go back to what Jay was saying, when we pass or not pass this item, up in municipal capital, there's $40,000. And of course, which you pointed out, it's down at the bottom for capital improvement. Which one are we voting for?
I would take the one on the top.
Yeah.
I'll
Which
remove the
one?
one on the top and leave the one on the bottom.
Oh, okay, all right. All
And we're
right.
gonna get a nice clean sheet that we're gonna send to the budget committee once tonight is over. So that
Because
the
this is a
budget committee
mess.
can, so that the budget committee, and so we can see exactly what we're looking at.
All right,
Okay,
all right, thank you.
you're welcome. So I have a motion and a second, correct? Yeah, Counselor Cook,
Yes,
Counselor Edwards,
Yes.
Counselor Janick,
yes,
Counselor Vieira,
Yes.
Counselor Burke,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
thanks,
Dave.
thanks,
Dave.
Dave.
And I'm a yes.
Oh. Joe, I'm sorry.
It's okay, I'm used to it.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put on my computer a little picture of you. All right, I must have one, I must have one somewhere. Okay, thank you.
Probably on your
Um,
dartboard.
Yeah, probably. I was just thinking of saying that, but I decided not to.
What's next?
Town hall operating expenses.
Page
Chris?
4.
We're making progress here, guys. Page 4. So Chris, would you like to talk on that?
So I meant to level fund that, so I would put that building maintenance back to 9,000.
Okay,
All right, so it should be 26,700, and I'm just trying to follow the past practice of where we've been for the last couple of years.
Okay.
I think based on the expenditure reports, we should be in line with that.
yeah, I was looking at that. I think you should be. Any questions regarding town hall?
Never mind.
Council Burke? No?
No, I answered it
Oh.
after. If I look back.
Okay. Anyone else? So I'd like to entertain a motion for town hall operating expensive, 1040. Item 1040 would be 26,700.
So
So
moved.
moved.
So I'll
Second,
give- I'll give it to Janick and Burke has the second. Any further questions? Donna,
yes,
Jay,
Yes.
Deb,
yes,
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Last but not least, Joe,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Thank you. Town administrator, page 5.
So you won't evaluate me till next year, so that's fine. The personal services for my assistant's already been resolved. The,
And it's reflective, okay.
yep, it is reflective. So everything else should be fairly much in line. I did get rid of the automobile expense. I don't do that. The townwide internet did go up. We did have to upgrade all of our internet lines to, they were at 25 megabytes and there was no way we could do Zoom meetings on them. So we did upgrade them so that we could at least have meetings. The website support, which I don't,
IT consulting,
I gotta figure out where that goes, who gets paid for that? Because I'm not sure where that goes. I have yet to see a bill for that yet.
Dave, Robert got that.
yeah, it is Dave Robert. Well, no, that's too high.
That's what it's been.
Okay, so that I need to check on.
Take it.
I was
I
unaware.
think we increased
Dave
that
still
last
did.
year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, Jay, but did we increase it to 30,000?
No, we're
No,
at
no, no, no.
5,400.
No, it's
You're on the wrong
54.
one.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that's,
It's
yeah,
the stipend.
yeah, that's the stipend. I thought you were
If it's
talking about.
30,000, I'll take the job.
Okay.
I know,
so
I was like, we're not paying him 30,000.
that must be in his paycheck every week and I just don't see it.
Yes, it is, it
All right,
is,
that-
yeah.
That's all right. So that would stay until we do something with the salary. The league, cities and towns, the Rhode Island cities and town managers and the international, whatever was put in my contract for those kind of stipends. That's what that 10,000 represents.
Okay,
Supplies is about the same. What I don't know is the Zoom. The state has not yet told me what that's gonna cost us. And right now we're paying somebody to help us with all these meetings. It's a little significant. It adds up. So between what we're paying Andrew to manage all these meetings and what we're gonna wind up paying for Zoom, this could be a pretty costly item. So I want to just leave that as a placeholder at the moment until after the state to come up with the master price agreement pricing for this. Because our pricing, our free version of this ends in April. So they got to give us something pretty soon as to what it's going to cost us.
okay.
I know it's not going to be cheap, but it is what it is. And then IT consulting services is what we pay for Everlasting Designs to do all the repairs that we do across, whether it's police, fire, any department that has IT issues comes out of this account. And then I have an expense account, but I have no idea. That can go to, I don't really spend any money, so it's.
You wanted, it's only $500. Why don't, I think that was in case you wanted to like take a special course or do something like that.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's what that was there for.
So that's
Coffee and
the
donuts.
nuts and bolts of what the account really is.
Okay. Any questions? Donna?
So we're gonna take the $500 out?
Can if you want.
So why don't we make it 0 then?
All
You
right,
said
I'm
you-
just saying that we put that in there, except in case the administrator did have some expenses.
I don't have any issue if you take it out. I really don't. I don't have any expenditures that I didn't have anything in my contract for any of this kind of stuff. So, and that's probably what was there from the past administrator.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take that out.
That's fine.
Deb?
204,
Well,
15.
15.
I'm just
It'll be
thinking, if we
205, no?
we have that 10,000 in for, is that Zoom and for Andrew? Because Andrew's doing these on Zoom, but when we weren't Zooming, Andrew was still videotaping all of the meetings,
Just town council meetings, right?
budget committee. I mean, he was doing all of those. So where is that line item that covers Andrew?
that's where I would be taken out of. So I don't know where it
But
was
that-
before.
Because I was gonna say, that's a brand new line item though.
It is. So I don't know if the council was paying for him out of the council contingency. I don't know what that was paid for prior to me.
Okay.
And I've never had a bill for him because everything was shut down when I came in here. So it's, they weren't doing live meetings. Everything was COVID related and there was no
Right.
access to any meetings. So I mean, I can look to, do some history to figure out where that was paid for him, but that's where I'm paying him from now is out of that 10,000. And I'm assuming it's going to be a 50-50 based on what his bills are now versus, I mean, he does a lot of meetings. I mean, I
He
think there were
does a
22
ton of meetings.
There were 22 Zoom meetings this past month now they
I
weren't
did-
all live streamed, but
But-
there's a lot of them.
I did 1 week that I did 4 meetings and he was on all of them. I mean, he's all there. So,
That's why he's the richest man in Tiverton.
If I can say, Nancy used to pay him, and I believe she paid him out of council contingency. Right, Joan? I think that's where it came from.
Well, we
I
also
think-
had a line item in the budget committee,
So
which
he
I
does-
always assumed paid him.
he gets paid out of a lot of different accounts. whether
Yeah.
it's the Harbor
Yeah.
Commission, whether it's the.
oh,
budget
so
committee
each
they have.
commission pays their own
Correct.
then.
It all works out at
Somehow.
the end. And if, and if we need to, we could always take from council contingency because that's what that's there for. Mike,
So Chris, I don't know if I asked this in one of the other meetings, but the Zoom, we have a Microsoft 365 account?
So I believe we do, but Teams isn't part of that. Teams is a pretty
Oh.
simple product. Because I
Okay.
did look into that.
Okay,
It has to be a license for everybody who's using it. So
okay,
so what the state has given us is while it's a blanket, I can give every entity the ability to use it, but the only issue with the way that they've given it to us is we can only have one meeting at a time.
right.
Like I have a meeting going right now, my own personal one that's for the Conservation Committee. I try not to do that if I don't have to. It's because I don't charge the town for it. But, because it's not cheap, it's like $125 a month. That is what it is. So-
Okay, you answered the question. Thank you.
that would probably come out of your $500 expenses you don't take it out of, Chris.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
All right. Any other questions? So what did we say? I got 205.
204.
215?
Where did you get 204 from?
It was 204, 715 to start with.
Mhm.
Town administrator?
Yeah, well, wait a minute. You're working
I
on.
have 205.
You're working on January, so hang on.
Yeah, January's is 205,550.
So I cut something somewhere.
Well, the one I'm looking at, it was 204, 715.
Well, you
Yeah,
must have them more updated than we have.
I thought I sent it right to
It's
everybody.
likely.
Maybe I didn't.
Maybe you did. The emails are coming in hot and heavy.
So the personnel services below me went from 48,500 to 47,665.
Right.
That's 900, 3750, 5400, 10,000, 1,500, 10,000, 30,000, and 500, which we're gonna eliminate. So
Okay, so the number is what?
204, 215, and then the number that is personal services account 5101 is 47665, and you're gonna eliminate the 500 under the expense account. That'll come to the 204, 215.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Anybody want to second?
Second.
that? Okay. Council Vieira seconded, I think Council Edwards. Council Cook,
Yes.
Council Edwards,
Yes.
Council Janick,
Yes.
Council Vieira,
Yes.
Councilor Burke,
Yes,
Councilor Perry,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Thank you. Planning board,
Same page. Up at the top.
what page?
Five.
That
5.
five, it's the top.
No, I don't see Susan Gill here, but the planner is here.
They're both here.
You see Susan?
Yep.
Susan's here.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Susan, the planning board is, no change in last year, is that correct?
Right, I think it was for advertising is what we were looking for. We're doing the subdivision regulations. I think that's primarily what it was for.
Well, the line says 3,000.
Right,
Okay,
yeah, because all the ads have to be run 3 consecutive weeks, so it adds up.
okay. And professional tech services is 10,000.
And that's for the steer engineering to, I know actually it's under our heading, but it was both for us and zoning board to have to pay the steer consultant to attend our meetings. Pay for their service to attend. That's what that was for.
Any questions for Susan? No? All right, I'd like to entertain a motion for $13,000 for 1070 planning board.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Counselor Janick, seconded by Counselor Cook. Counselor Cook,
Yes.
Counselor Edwards,
Yes.
Counselor Janick,
Yes.
Counselor Vieira,
Yes.
Counselor Burke,
Yes.
Counselor Perry,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Next up is land use.
Oh, that's Bill Moore
And me.
and Jennifer.
What line is that?
It's page 5.
That
Land
doesn't help.
use,
11:40.
1140.
11:40.
11, thank you. And Denise, I just sent you the one that is updated on February 4th.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I just found it myself.
Probably if I looked hard enough, I would have found it tonight.
So just one correction before we get going on this. The planner's salary should be at 87,000. I do need to get that to back to the council to ratify that probationary period to that amount. It's in her contract that that's what she gets. So I'll get that on your next agenda to ratify that. And then Bill Moore's salary, while, you know, he has not been evaluated either, and it's another one I'm behind on. I got to get something for this year done to get before you, and then obviously next year will also be in the council contingency as well. And I do get the issue of that the salary should reflect, and hopefully if we have not finished this by the time I get those evaluations done, we can reflect it on the docket so that they are clear what those numbers would be for this year. But right now, without an evaluation and something before the council to ratify, it would still stay at the $80,000.
And we really don't have to change it. We could fix it July 1st and just take it out of contingency.
We could, but it needs to be, either way, he still needs to be resolved for this year and next.
Okay,
So it's, you know, timing is the issue as to when I get to it.
so the bottom line will change,
I've
but
been trying to do a couple of them. I just haven't been able to get to all these and do everything else I'm trying to do.
I know.
I know it's important. These guys they're very valuable to us and they do deserve to be recognized, but believe me, we've had a lot to deal with since I got here.
So the planner is 87 and the building official is 80?
Right.
So would anyone have any questions? It's pretty much bottom line again. You guys are doing a really terrific job.
Denise, I have 2 questions.
Go ahead, Jay.
Why did longevity and vacation coverage zero out?
Longevity, no one has longevity. All our staff that are ASME members don't fall in that category. There used to be someone with longevity, and
They're gone.
Yeah.
It's not good.
And then if Bill wants to answer about the vacation coverage.
So the vacation coverage, we have Joe Kaufman is the zoning officer, and he can cover for me on his normal time when I am out vacation.
Okay.
So he's budgeted on that third item down for the zoning officer. And if and when I do take a vacation, he can cover for me, and it really doesn't cost us money.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No questions from anyone? All right, so we got to fix the bottom line here.
So
Anybody do math?
I have
311, 100.
That's what I have, 311, 100.
Yeah, I let the spreadsheet do it for me.
All
Is that
right.
accurate, Jennifer?
You're pretty sniffy.
I think
yeah.
that, yeah, that counts. The zoning enforcer, Joe, his contract is on actually up the end of this.
he's another one I need to deal with.
Yeah.
I have a few of them, believe me, I understand.
So we need to.
So that might be a little different.
Oh, so we need to take, do we need to take that out and put it in the contingency?
Yep.
No,
Well, it's
he's
already in the,
so I don't have any issue with the rate being there. You know, that gives Bill some flexibility to make sure he can work some hours. He's actually working 2 7-hour days a week right now, but if there is a need for any kind of extraneous issue, he can work up to a few more hours. So that does give Bill's office some flexibility with that. That has nothing to do with his rate. His
okay,
contract will be separate, total, altogether different.
okay.
So let me see.
So we're still at 311, 100.
Correct.
Any other questions? Okay, I'd entertain a motion for land use planning 1140
So moved.
for
Oh, go ahead.
311 for 311 100.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, Donna,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Thank you, both of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now
Thank you.
zoning, land use. Okay, zoning board of review. Who's gonna do that?
I could just say that we'd like to flatline it from last year. I haven't had any discussions with Chris on this, but I'd like to just keep it the same amount that we had last year.
So it's actually a board. The only cost here is the stenographer,
Right,
correct?
yeah.
So we just need to have something there just in case.
So
Yeah,
it's
they
like-
do charge us for every meeting.
They do. Oh, they do, all right. Okay.
Yep,
Because actually,
they do
Yeah.
the minutes.
okay, so it's 40, it's been 4,500.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone? Question?
They do have to have a stenographer at every
They
meeting.
have to
Yeah.
create a
Correct.
record.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a legal record, right?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion for 1080 zoning board of review, public stenographer, $4,500.
So moved.
Second.
Joe, Deb made the motion, Joe seconded. All those in favor, Donna,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. All right, is that it for Bill and Jennifer? Am I forgetting anything?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Right, boy, Joe.
Now you speak up too much. Okay, first of all, Saturday, Joan and I finalized the agenda for Saturday's workshop. And then you're gonna notice when your town council agenda showed up, I put some budget items on there also to finalize a few of those also. And so you'll see that as it all comes up. Now, Councilor Perry, who wants to adjourn, had a request that we start the meeting on Saturday at 10:30. Does anyone have anything? Because Joe can make it at 10:30 on Saturday. Is that correct, Joe?
Yes,
Okay.
but if that's not good, that's fine. I just wanted to put it out there.
That's fine for me.
I'm fine waiting for you, Joe.
Okay, Mike, is that okay? All right. So we'll advertise it for 10:30 and we're doing the library senior center. I think I put, what else on there, Joan? Fire today? No.
Library, Harbor and Coastal Management Commission, a final vote on the DPW, associated activities, which includes the senior center, civic appropriations, town council, and town hall. Oh, actually, we did town hall today, right?
Town hall.
Yes.
And I think I put police on Monday and something else on Monday. Oh,
Police
fire,
and-
right?
Police and fire
To finalize
Final
the
vote.
general budget.
and legal.
And legal, because
Legal.
Mike will be there and he wouldn't have to come to a special meeting. All right, so now, so it's 10:30 on Saturday. We're seeing an awful lot of each other. It's too bad we're not together. We could have lunch or something while we're doing this, but maybe someday.
I don't know, I
Send
don't
us
think it's
the money.
in the budget. It's not in the
What?
budget.
Well, it takes, I would expect nothing less from you, Donna, but to say that. All right, we did good tonight. Councilor Perry, you want to make the motion to adjourn?
I sure do. Motion to adjourn.
Okay, just a second. No. All those,
Just to let you know that the Conservation Commission is still going.
well, we did get a lot done. Believe it or not, we're working our way right through this, guys.
We deserve a short one once in a while.
Yeah, and Chris, we will get all of these changes to,
I'll get them all squared away by tomorrow. I'll send you a
and send it
copy.
to the budget
And
committee.
I'll send it to the budget committee as well, okay?
Okay. All right, thank
right.
you, everyone.